Hello people, it is I, the Mighty Fluffbot, or Barak Lessel, just call me what you prefer. And I'm back for something... Well, I'm back from the same intro as always, because you don't change a formula that doesn't work. Sarcasm. Um, this time I'm gonna play a relatively awesome game. I mean, Duke Nukem Forever was awful. Postal was fun, but it was lacking in some ways. But this time we're gonna be playing one of my favorite games of all time in terms of atmosphere, gameplay, and difficulty. We're gonna be playing S.T.A.L.K.E.R called Pripyat. At first I wanted to do a permanent run on master difficulty, but after 5 failed tries in an hour or so, I decided that it wasn't worth it, and I can't really show you the awesomeness of the game if I'm dying every hour, because the fun of the game is progressing and the awesome story and such. This is the third opus in the series, but the game makes a good job at summarizing the story for you. So I'm gonna shut up and I'm gonna let the game tell you the story for me. I'm gonna play on S.T.A.L.K.E.R difficulty. I already played it on veteran and completed it without too much challenge, but since I'm gonna be commentating and focusing on that, and you don't want to hear me being like, I must focus, okay. I'm gonna play on S.T.A.L.K.E.R. So have a good time. If the game wanna loads, of course. And will it load? This is the question. Oh, awesome loading times. Yes, you don't even want to think of how bad the first 2 games loading time were. It was awful to an extent, like sitting 5 minutes in front of a loading screen. Alright, I'm gonna shut up and let you enjoy.
At 0123 on April 26, 1986, the reactor of Power Block 4 of Chernobyl NPP is destroyed following a series of thermal explosions. The resulting radioactive cloud moves across the European part of the USSR, Eastern Europe, and Scandinavia, eventually reaching America. The consequences of the disaster are so serious that the government is forced to begin evacuating the residents of nearby towns and villages. A 30-kilometer exclusion zone is created to stop residents from returning to the contaminated area. Despite the disaster, the Chernobyl NPP continues to operate. The existence of a power station, as well as the fact that the area is no longer inhabited, leads the Council of Ministers of the USSR to set up a network of secret laboratories in the exclusion zone. June 11th, 2006. The exclusion zone lights up with a flash of blinding light as clouds can be seen evaporating in the sky. After a moment of complete silence, the peal of thunder shakes the ground. Most of the government forces guarding the perimeter are killed instantly. 2008. Scientists are still unable to explain what happened. Rare expeditions into the zone usually end in tragedy, with survivors telling stories of mutated animals with incredible abilities roaming the area. According to various estimates, by 2010, the zone is home to between 100 and 300 unknown individuals. They call themselves stalkers and make their living by collecting anomalous formations known as artifacts, which they sell for considerable sums of money. 2011. Despite military cordons, the stalker phenomenon is growing in numbers. However, stalkers travel primarily around the zone's edges, with the center remaining terra incognita. The few attempts to penetrate deeper into the zone have all ended in failure. 2012, a stalker called S.T.A.L.K.E.R solves the secret of the brain scorcher, a man-made emitter that had blocked the way to the center of the zone for years. After the brain scorcher is disabled, all stalkers rush for the center of the zone, some in hopes of finding a treasure trove of artifacts, others in search of the wish granter. The government decides to launch a large-scale military operation. Operation Fairway, as it came to be known, involves using maps of anomaly fields to maneuver helicopters to the CNPP. Despite meticulous preparation, the operation is a failure, and none of the helicopters return from the mission. Major Dektyrev, a USS special agent, is sent into the zone to investigate the disappearance of the helicopters. Disguised as a stalker, equipped with a regular assault rifle, 2 weeks' worth of supplies, and a radio to communicate with HQ, the Major begins his journey towards the center of the zone.
Alright, I think that little introduction made a good enough job at explaining you the backstory. Basically, our main objective is gonna find the 5 helicopters, Stingray 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and find out what happened to them. Yes, if I press the I button, you can see my inventory. Kinda reminiscent of Diablo, like weapons will take more places in your inventory than, you know, bullets. And don't worry, that little cut there, if you even notice it, was normal. It happens every time I start a game. Everything weighs something, like bullets, so you can walk around with like a bajillion rockets and bullets. If we browse our mouse on a weapon, we're gonna see stats, accuracy, handling, damage, fire rate. Handling is basically the recoil of the weapon. And the rest of the stats are pretty much self-explanatory. If we got a piece of armor, we're gonna see a little description of it. And thermic protection, electric protection, blah blah blah. These are all self-explanatory, like I said. Blah blah blah. So we can see that here at the bottom we can see our resistance to most damage. This is our energy recovery, our fast regenerate health. And yes, we need to eat to keep us alive. This is an open world game. As you can see, we have, well, the game is divided in 3 areas, and we can wander around however we want. We have our stats here with our awesome name, and our favorite weapon is the knife since we did nothing. And yes, in our 5 objectives. But enough explaining for now. I'm gonna explain the rest as we play. And I was just making sure I didn't mute my microphone by mistake. So when we walk around, we will encounter.
Howdy ho.
We're gonna encounter NPCs, and this guy is called Misha Etnik. All of these names are random, and we can ask them several questions, like where's the nearest stalker camp around here? How about the coordinate to your PDA? Alright. Question. Helicopters. What if it's something? A job for me? Alright. We're not gonna go through all of these all the time, but it's just an example. What are you up to? Right. You can ask them to lead you to some areas. Like, it's kind of fast travel but with a fee. Here we can trade with him our bullet, our guns, but we have no interest in that, even though our weapons are pretty bad right now. On the top left corner of my screen, you can see my map with a little blue bar jiggling back and forth, if I can use that term. basically this is the sound we make. Like if I walk through these branches, it should go higher because we're making a lot of noise. It's the same with the little eye icon at top of it. It's basically if an enemy is able to see us, and only an enemy. Nothing will show up if an ally will see us. So keep that in mind. The knife is a decent weapon, if you ask me, but we will not use it too much in this playthrough. Well, I might use it against a few animals, but I don't want to die all the time because it will only make things tedious for you and I. And there's a lot of other gameplay mechanics I will take a pleasure in explaining to you later. But right now, let's just go to the S.T.A.L.K.E.R, the tanker, and let's see if we can grab a fair amount of side quests. Right now we're neutral with everybody. We are a free stalker, but that status can change really fast if we start to backstab a few bandits or stalkers. So let's get in. Close the door behind us.
Listen up. Sultan wants to see you.
Yeah, I'm gonna go see Sultan later. Alright, what's the job? Ici, aller son loot in all. Ça pour S.T.A.L.K.E.R, but this one squared into cartel underground. Deal. About that container. Still working on it. See ya. And this bandit is playing a guitar. I'm pretty sure he's a bandit, right? No, he's a stalker.
Howdy ho.
You're gonna steal the tourist breakfast. NPCs never mind that you steal items like that. Oh, stalker, what kind of job can you offer me? What do I need to do? Yes. I'm not reading these right now because I played this part 5 times in the last week, so I'm kind of tired of it. So let's grab the vodka. I'd like to ask you something. Anything about the crash helicopters?
Listen up.
We could ask him for a
Sultan
job, but
wants
this
to
will be
see
later.
Hello. What brings you to our humble vessel?
Got a job for me? I will. You should check your cell. Blah blah blah.
Pop in if you find
If you want me to go and do all the dialogues option with them, I will.
No,
Did you find
But I
anything
seem
out
no
about
interest in doing that
Megbas?
right now.
I've asked everywhere, but it's useless.
This
Nobody
is the
knows a
ship's
thing.
surgeon medic.
Black is a poltergeist or something.
He will
That sanity
We-
bitch is going to
fix
regret
all your
running away.
status effects for
Goodbye.
free, like bleeding, radiation.
Hang in there, buddy. The doc said you'll be up on your feet in a couple of days. You might as well use this time to rest up and chill. Hey, stalker, come here. I got a question for you.
What is my plan into arm you? C'est my bag. Alright. Wars and flu. Da. Alright, sorry for that silence. I was reading because I forgot he was explaining to us what to do with mutants.
So, you got anything new?
Yes, I do. Got a job for me. Tell me about the mercenary camp. I agree. So basically this is your arms trader, and I might actually sell my gas mask and grab myself a helmet. Because the gas mask, even though it protects us against chemical and radiation, it does nothing for armor and side protection. Yes, Psy, the Korean artist. No, yes.
Howdy.
Alright, this is your gunsmith. He will fix your stuff and give you several upgrades. I mean, it's useful if you find a weapon you like and you want to keep it for the rest of the game. Got some booze, want a shot. Alright. And basically...
Here's to a steady hand.
Right, I forgot he did that. Got any work for me? I'll keep an eye out. Alright, so we're gonna quick save. And as you can see, the dubbing of the game is in...
Hello. Well,
great.
good luck to you.
Usually I play the game in French. I know it sounds like... It sounds crazy coming from me. But since we have less voice actor in French and in English, I guess they're stuck with, you know, typical French sounding one and, you know, not Russian sounding one, if that makes any sense. Alright, and we have our first encounter, I guess. Right, that was way easier than I remember. Come on, where are you? Ah, God. Right. So basically, that was a boar, and those were blind dogs, if I remember correctly. Yep, blind dogs or something like that. They were on master difficulty. These were my main problem. I had no trouble with the bandits and such, but a single bite from a boar or a dog will drain half your HP and will leave you bleeding. Trust me, you don't want to bleed. I'm gonna wait around a tad so that the bleeding effect will go away, please. And it should go away by itself. In any worst case, in a worst case scenario, we have some bandages I can use, but oh well. And as you can see, our armor took a bit of damage. Attacks tend to do that, especially wild dogs and such. Melee attacks tends to be brutal to your armor. It will tear right through it. But yes, you don't mess around in this game. Well, you try not to. So if we grab our binocular, if I remember the shortcut, no, that's our bolt. I'm gonna show you the use of this item later. We can see a blue glow. And what is that, you may ask? It's an artifact. But it's not gonna be easy to grab said artifacts. And we have a grenade, and we have the console I just turned on by mistake. And you're probably not seeing this on the screen, on the recording, but there's some kind of weird blurry thingy. That's an anomaly. Basically, you go in that, you'll take a lot of damage. I forgot the proper name of it, but yes. And as you can see, I just popped up a little weird explodey thingy of doom. Basically, this is a sensor. It will tell us when we're closing up to an artifact. This is the standard model, which is pretty bad. But as you can see, wait, I'm taking a bit of radiation problem here. We can see a glowing wheel, something there, right? So we're gonna try to go grab it. We can use a pistol with the detector, but we cannot aim since it requires both of our hands, right? And I didn't fuck up this time. I'm amazed. All right.